Urban Meyer sounds alarm. Deion Sanders faces most crucial test, yet in Colorado's third act. The air in Boulder, Colorado, crackles with a mix of anticipation, anxiety, and unrelenting expectation. As the 2025 college football season approaches, all eyes are once again fixated on Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, who is now entering his pivotal third season as head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. And according to Urban Meyer, a three-time national championship-winning head coach and a legendary figure in college football lore, Sanders is about to embark on the toughest season of his still young collegiate coaching career. The man who won 2 titles with the Florida Gators and another with the Ohio State Buckeyes didn't mince words while speaking on the Triple Option podcast. Meyer, never one to shy away from tough truths, made it clear the 2025 campaign will test Sanders in ways he hasn't yet experienced. He set a standard, Meyer explained. Once you hit a 9-win season, the expectations shift dramatically. The honeymoon phase is over. If they start losing again, the crowd starts to thin out. That's the brutal reality of college football. From star power to uncertainty, Deion Sanders captivated the nation when he took the reins of a struggling Colorado program in 2023 and began a full-scale culture overhaul. With swagger, charisma, and a coach's whistle that echoed louder than any doubter's criticism, Sanders turned a 1-11 team into national media darlings seemingly overnight. By the end of the 2024 season, Sanders had led the Buffs to a 9-4 record and a bowl game appearance, surpassing nearly all external expectations. However, that success came largely on the back of star quarterback and son Shedeur Sanders, two-way phenom Travis Hunter, who walked away with the Heisman Trophy, and a dynamic group of playmakers who are now headed to the NFL. For Meyer, this offseason exodus changes everything. We knew last year what that team was going to look like. You had Travis, you had Shedeur, you had identity. This time around, it's a mystery, Meyer said. And mystery doesn't win football games. Indeed, the 2025 Colorado Buffaloes are no longer the same team that electrified stadiums and stirred conversations across sports media platforms. They're entering the new season without many of their cornerstone players, and for the first time, perhaps without the shock value that initially made Coach Prime a household name in the college football landscape. Transfer portal, a double-edged sword. One of the most polarizing aspects of Sanders' early success was his aggressive use of the transfer portal. In his first year, Sanders brought in 52 transfers, an NCAA record. The following year, he added 43 more. It was clear he wasn't just reshaping the team. He was rebuilding a culture in fast forward. But in 2025, that strategy has shifted. Colorado has added 33 transfers this offseason, including Liberty Flames quarterback Kaidon Salter, a talented dual-threat QB expected to challenge for the starting role in the post-Shedeur era. For Meyer, this dip in transfer activity may actually signal something deeper. If you're reading it the right way, this shows stability, Meyer said. When you're flipping 45 to 50 guys every year, that's a red flag. I don't know how that even worked the first time. Stability is the keyword here. The reduction in transfer volume could indicate that Sanders is starting to find long-term footing in his locker room. Fewer changes mean more cohesion, more time for development, and potentially a more mature team dynamic. What Colorado still has, though Sanders may have lost some of his marquee talent to the NFL, the cupboard is far from bare. Returning underclassmen like offensive tackle Jordan Seaton, who was one of the highest-rated O-line recruits in the country, are ready to anchor the trenches. Wide receiver Draylon Miller and running back Micah Welch have already shown flashes of brilliance and are expected to take on even bigger roles this season. These are players who've been through Sanders' system, understand his demands, and have begun to evolve under the pressure. Additionally, the Buffs' incoming class of transfers and high school signees features gritty, chip-on-the-shoulder athletes who are hungry to prove themselves. Sanders, a master motivator, is now tasked with molding this amalgamation of youth and experience into a championship-caliber unit. Upgrades on the sidelines. Sanders isn't facing this battle alone. One of the more overlooked aspects of the offseason is the reshuffling and upgrading of his coaching staff. Notable additions include Dom Atapico, defensive line coach, bringing NFL tenacity and grit. Marshall Faulk, running backs coach, Hall of Famer, and one of the smartest minds in the backfield game. Andre Gurode, offensive line coach, former five-time NFL Pro Bowler. Andrew Swayze, strength and conditioning coach, known for turning college prospects into NFL machines. With this revamped staff, Sanders is clearly reinforcing the walls of the house he's built. These names bring credibility, experience, and immediate buy-in from young players looking to ascend. The weight of expectations. However, all these additions don't dilute the pressure. In fact, they heighten it. Because now, Sanders isn't the underdog. He's the man who made lightning strike twice, and everyone wants to know if he can do it a third time. Colorado is no longer a forgotten program tucked in the Rocky Mountains. Under Sanders, they've become a cultural and competitive force. Merchandise is flying off shelves. Ticket sales are at an all-time high. Prime time has transformed Folsom Field into a must-see venue. But with fame comes scrutiny. Every dropped pass, every blown coverage, every questionable play call will now face amplified criticism. Sanders, ever the showman, thrives in the spotlight. But even he must know that maintaining the spectacle is far harder than creating it. Game 1, the first proving ground. The season opener on August 29th against Georgia Tech at Folsom Field isn't just a game, it's a statement. Georgia Tech, a tough ACC opponent, will test Colorado's new-look squad right out of the gate. A win there would instantly validate the changes made in the offseason. A loss could ignite the kind of doubt that builds fast in college football circles. Urban Meyer's commentary speaks to this razor's edge. When he says this season is going to be Coach Prime's hardest yet, he isn't exaggerating. He's been there. He's seen how fast programs can rise and fall under the weight of media, money, and hype. They've been the talk of college football. But that talk doesn't matter if you can't win when it counts, Meyer concluded. The Sanders legacy under construction. What makes this season even more fascinating is that Sanders isn't just coaching for wins. He's coaching for legacy. His time in Colorado has always been about more than football. It's been about reintroducing belief into a program that had lost its soul. It's been about giving black coaches a louder voice in a sport where they remain underrepresented. It's been about showing young athletes, especially those from underprivileged backgrounds, that swagger, faith, and discipline can coexist. So now, in year 3, Sanders is walking a tightrope between being a revolutionary and being a results-driven head coach. The revolution brought attention. The results must now bring validation. Final thoughts. The verdict from Meyer and the road ahead. Urban Meyer is not alone in his belief that Deion Sanders is about to face a gauntlet of challenges. Many insiders agree that 2025 will be the defining year for Sanders' tenure in Boulder. But if there's one thing we've learned about Deion Sanders, it's this. He's never been afraid of challenges. He played 2 professional sports at the same time. He turned a college football wasteland into a media empire. He raised 2 sons who are now competing at the highest levels of the sport. Can he survive the pressure cooker of expectations? Can he win without Shadur, without Travis, without the element of surprise? Time will tell. But one thing is certain. No matter what happens in the win-loss column, all of college football will be watching every move Deion Sanders makes this season. And if history is any indicator, Coach Prime may yet have one more miracle left in those designer sunglasses and whistle.